Edison Carter, Network 23. Network 23, are you receiving me? Shit.
This is Network 23. Intermittent voice loss.
Edison Carter to Network 23. Come on, clear this link.
Network 23 to Edison Carter. Okay, we have the link strong and clear. Your show goes live in 2 minutes. Your controller is Gorister.
Thank you, 23. Hello, Gorister.
Gorister here, Edison. Right, now you're above the incident. Descend and I'll guide you once clear of the chopper. By the way, you've got competition. There's quite a scene down there.
How long before I'm on air?
You've got 30 seconds. We'll make it.
Oh my God. Look how bright I look. How the hell is everybody? Let me get into the comments to see who's here. What a crazy world. What a crazy world. Hello, Sadie. How you doing? Nice to see you. What a crazy world. And okay, the reason why I'm so bright is I've got a new monitor to do my editing and I'm running off of that. So maybe I got to try and, do all these things, get everything done. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to, well, I think my beautiful co-host, Miss Debbie McGee. No, I'm playing with you. We've got Nick, and Nick has got a show for us, man. Okay. I'm gonna say this one time, I'm alive, so I think I'm doing good. But hey, give it up for the man, the myth, the living legend. It is Nick.
What's up, everyone? Good to be back. And so the live show is on me today, is it? That's a bit of a bold statement.
Well,
I thought I was calm, but now he made me nervous.
Nah, don't be nervous. Just think this is your segment, and the thing is, in my end, there's been not much going on except I know that I've asked guys. If you notice, I haven't put the donation up, and that's because I've actually got my PC. I've got my new PC, so I'm very happy with that. That's why a lot of things are like over there. Oh, more 420. You can always have more 420, ain't that right, Nick? What do you think? Is there ever enough 420?
Never enough.
Right.
Mate. Yeah, okay. I'm definitely 420 person, 100%.
But before we kick off the show, I like to get the people in. How y'all doing? Nick is right now in the middle of some big crime story going down.
Yeah, shall I? I don't want to announce where I live, but fuck it, here we go anyway. Yeah, so I don't know if you heard on the news, some person dropped 2 suitcases filled with human remains not too far from where I live, and he is now hiding in the forest. Currently, not too far where I live, and there are police helicopters at the moment. So if I see some guy snooping around my garden, I know I'm gonna make it big. Isn't that right, Hidden? Hopefully, I probably end up getting bloody killed. Who knows? We've got the bloody sliding doors open at the moment. So yeah, that's all the shit's sorry. Oh, you gone off again, Hidden. Hidden, I swore, and you gone off again.
Yeah, please.
Never mind.
PG.
Yes, I'll remember that. Yeah. Slap on the wrist. There you go. So yeah, that's all the situation going down at the moment at my place. It's it's all kicking off. Well, smoke to that anyway. Hidden, you there? Hello, Hidden. Earth to Hidden. Are you there? Are you shooting through the airwaves, Hidden? Or was it just me?
Here I am. Everything just went off, man. It's insane because we're prepping for the show. You remember the camera lasted. I said, how long? You said it's an hour. I said, oh, it's lasted. And now here we are. It's broke down. So you got people looking. It's been crazy. Yeah, that's right. There's somebody there's somebody there. Did you see the news presenter? He wasn't news presenter. Sorry, I think he was a racing presenter. Went home and his 2 daughters and his missus had been shot with a crossbow.
What? You joking?
Yeah, unreal.
Hell.
They even
What's
gave him
going on?
They even gave him a shout out in on yesterday's England via Spain match. Well, no, did I get that right? Not Spain, Netherlands. What a good match! What a good match! What a great! Now, you didn't watch it?
No, I'm not a football person, mate.
I'm not myself, but I like the tournaments. So let's guide it, and good luck. I believe on Sunday. But yeah, body parts in the suitcase, man. You know, that was a breaking news. Didn't they take a taxi to the bridge to drop the suitcase off? Because it was the taxi driver that alerted them, innit?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they got a photo of him. Because I tried to go across the bridge to get some milk, and I was like, why is it all shut off by the police? It's a bit unusual. And then my mum was like, yeah, stuff's kicking off around your area, mate. Be careful. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm worried about a bloody live stream, and now I've got a bloody murder on the loose. So
who's that at your window?
Hidden reflection. You're talking about Derek. You're talking about Derek, mate. He's all right. He's all good.
I'm talking about the guy that walked past with the suitcase.
Hidden, mate. Don't start, mate. Should we carry on with the show before I start soiling myself?
I digress. Thank you very much. I mean, there's more to come. There's more to come. Trust me. But thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Like you said, you could be anywhere, but you're here.
Absolutely, yeah. I appreciate everyone here, and appreciate you, Rotary, as well. Honestly, mate, you're a shining in what's a star in shining armor? No, I screwed that up. Thanks for being here, Rotary. I know you're doing your rounds on terrestrial materials and aliens and stuff like that. So,
thank you as well.
Yeah. So Hidden. Do you know much about the Belgium UFO wave?
The only thing I know, with any certainty, is what I put on the thumbnail. And by the way, guys, the thumbnail is the actual picture of the
lit up photo.
Which I believe you would have it.
Yeah, I got the original, but that's the lit up version of it. Yeah, but we'll show that.
They worked on it.
Yeah. The original photo we'll get to is really dark. It's a bit like the Gulf Breeze sighting photographs as well. But we do have a photograph of the craft itself. Yeah. So do you want me to go into it to the best that I can?
Because even though you asked me if I know, I hate to say this, guys, but let's pretend like you guys don't know, and if you do know, then follow along. But let's say you don't know, and this is kind of a old new case that you're hearing of, but it's one that was always interesting. But over to you, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on UFO Twitter, the whole shebang that's been going on there for quite a while now, and the Belgium UFO wave never really gets brought up in terms of eyewitness testimonies, public and military, and also the photographs and sketches and all that. It's quite a compelling case. So let's start from the beginning. If I might be able to get this all done right. Let's have a little look. To that. Okay, right. I have photographs in order. Hidden, is that on the screen? There we go. Sweet. Okie dokie.
sorry.
So
I'm just rolling up a cigarette. Because after last show's fiasco, I am not getting too stoned. Well, I'm not getting stoned at all, man.
Same here, mate. Same here.
No, thank you very much.
Right. Let's bring my notes up. Right. Sorry for the silence. 2 seconds to make sure I got everything right. Okay. Brilliant. Bonnie Penny, thank you for the £5. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, right, we're all sorted. Right, got my notes, everything. Right, so the Belgium UFO wave began in okay, it started in the summer of 1989 to 1991. The first sighting was shortly after 5 p.m. on November the 29th, 1989, in regards of these two federal police officers, Heinrich and Hubert. I'm not going to say their last names because I'm crap at pronouncing German names. Yes, so these two. Nicole, yeah.
And Hubert von Montikiti.
Close enough, Hidden. Close enough. We'll A for effort.
Oh, it's better than last time, say.
So these two officers were driving down a highway just outside Germany, and this was a few miles away from the German border. And the two officers here saw a craft. So they saw a craft hovering above a field, and it was actually illuminating the field by these three lights and the central middle lights that was flashing in the middle. And they described this craft as triangular, and it was about 30 meters in diameter. Obviously, it was quite high up, but it was so noticeable it actually illuminated the field. There were 30 meters in diameter.
That's a pretty big vessel.
Yeah. Oh, it gets bigger because there's not just one craft. There's actually two of them, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, see.
So as the officers were driving down the highway, they saw this craft illuminated the field, and they stopped and saw it for about 30 minutes. Well, probably about 20 minutes they saw it. And as the craft was slowly drifting, it produced three beams. No, sorry, it's actually two beams that came from the central part of the craft. And in the middle, you had a smaller red ball. Now, I took this screenshot from a documentary. So you had the two side beams that came down, and you had a central ball that came down from the middle of the craft. It hovered there for about a few minutes. The beams went up, and the craft eventually moved away silently. And they said that the craft was silent. So the craft moved to a part of Belgium called UPenn, and it drifted towards the city and remained there for about half an hour. The two officers witnessed the craft, obviously with the two beams and the glowing red ball in the middle. Let's have a look. Okay, right. So these are two different officers from this point. This was at the same day. So two different officers described this triangular craft hovering around about 75 feet. They said it had a hissing noise, because it was quite close to the ground. And they said it produced this hissing noise. And the officers described a red ball dropping from the center into some trees. At that night, this was just one night, there were 143 eyewitness testimonies of this triangular craft.
Wow.
13 of them were police officers, and it was estimated that 1,500 witnesses saw this craft that night. So that's a lot, and they all described these as triangular craft with the three lights.
Can I interrupt? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, can we go back to how many police officers did you say? Did you say it was 30 police officers?
No, 13. So there was
13.
13. So there was 143 public civilians witnessed this triangular craft and 13 police officers. But they estimated, due to reports, it was around about 1,500 reported that night. So it was and they're all saying the same thing. Triangular craft with the three red illuminated lights on each side of the craft with the flashing red light in the middle. So yeah, it doesn't stop there. So that was in, what date did I say that was? That was on November the 29th. And if we're going to move forward to so December the 1st, 21 witnesses saw the same craft and a further 24 witnesses of military witnessed this craft as well. So we've got more sightings of this craft.
How many military witnessed this craft?
24. These were police and these were this was between police and military. So 24 military and policemen and 21 public eyewitnesses. That was on December the 1st, and again on December the 11th. Again, let's have a little look. I should have never done this 5 minutes before I. So again, this is just another example of what the eyewitnesses were describing at the time. Those two police officers that were in the van that described the craft that had the hissing noise, that is how the craft was. So you can see how low the object was. It was, you know, not above like a field. It was actually pretty much above them to a certain degree. So yeah, that is the size of the craft. So it's quite a decent size, I would say.
Huge craft, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
And given the technology, I mean, could this be some sort of secret? Well, I'll tell you what. Carry on, and we'll talk later.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. Yeah, yeah, get to that, man. We'll get to that. So, at the time, there were so many reports and people in Belgium going, "What the hell is this?" Not only the public and the police, but the military. Okay, so this is Lieutenant. Oh, mate, can you read that? Lieutenant Colonel Andre
Armand.
Armand, well done, well done.
Armand.
And
see, no 420 for me, mate.
Don't get me jealous. Don't get me jealous. So yeah, this guy here, he is a civil engineer in Belgium Army, and he witnessed this craft with his wife as they're driving through the countryside. Let's go to so what he described in the distance as him and his wife were driving down the highway, he described what he saw as 3 panels in a row with a red light at the bottom. But as the craft got closer, he saw that it was a triangular shape craft. So he described, again with his wife, 3 lights on either side of the craft, with the central light in the middle, which was flashing red. He described the craft about 100 meters in length, in diameter, so overall circumference. So it's quite a big craft, and this apparently was quite close up. And at that point, he witnessed it for about a few minutes, and it sped away at incredible speeds. We'll get to that in a minute. So we have a lieutenant colonel from the army witness this triangular craft with his wife, and we'll get to him a little bit later. So we have witnesses.
Is this an actual picture, this one that's up on the screen, or is this an artist rendering? Because wasn't there only one picture that was ever caught of this thing?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, there's only one photograph that was ever taken. I believe these are artist impressions, I would say. Yeah, this is like the German UFO sort of thing. It's it could easily be faked if
trust me, brother. Or is it trust me,
bro? Yeah. So yeah, take this. We're going to get to the famous photograph. Okay, so at the time, we have police, military, civilian, all seeing this craft in a space of 2 weeks. And on... wait, 2 seconds.
Oh, sorry. I've been not paying attention to the chat, so I'll come back here. Hello, everyone.
That's cool. So yeah, this famous photograph was taken. Oh, no, where it is? That's it there. That's the one. So this photograph was taken on April the 4th, 1990, and this craft was flying over the house in Petit-Richan in Belgium. And we're in it. Oh God, my bloody notes wrong. I got my bloody wrote. Hang on, we're in it. Photograph. Yeah, so this was taken in, sorry guys, I do apologize. April the 4th, 1990, this craft was flying over this guy's house, the name at the bottom there. And the real photograph of it, hold on, I've got it here, which I need to bring this up. Because this what I'm showing you here is the actual lit up version. But let me do this hidden.
We could come back to
so
that.
Often really slow, guys.
Because we could come back to that because they've just adjusted the contrast so we could have a better look at it.
Yeah. Well, bring this one up. This is the original photograph. You can see. There we go.
Yeah, see the big difference.
Big difference. Again, it's almost like the Gulf Breeze sighting photographs. It's all been lit up. So this is the original photograph that was taken from a documentary. I can't remember. I'll probably show it in a minute. Yeah, you can see the three lights and the central light in the middle. Yeah, so that is the original photograph. And obviously the lit up version is this one.
That I'm going to be putting up right now.
There we go. So you can see there's a big difference between the two. So yeah, this is the lit up version. It's quite good, actually. I have to admit. Out of all the UFO photographs, this is pretty decent, I would say. Don't know if you agree with me with that, but yeah, this photograph was. So this photograph.
Sorry, yeah, it is a decent job because I mean, to look at the original, you had a hard thing to do. So I think he's done a decent job on pulling that out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if it was like fake, it's still it's still pretty decent.
But, it's better. It's better than the MUFON picture. See any toy soldiers in that one?
MUFON, calm down. We're just joking. So yeah, but this photograph, it has a bit of credibility because it was actually analysed by the French National Space Research Centre at the Belgium National Academy, and
we're covering it here now.
We are covering it here now, and they contrasted it out, and they found out that is a solid object. But again, you know me with my German flying saucers and Billy Meyer and George Adamski, if I dare say, they're all fakers, really. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It can be faked, but again, this was taken by someone in the public, so it doesn't really seem that this person wants to have traction, because anybody wants to have a good photograph, they want to ride that train, baby. You know what I mean? But again, this is 1990, so the UFO craze was high. It was very active, but I don't think people really came forward as such because they didn't want to be outed out as, you know, some flipping tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean? So, nevertheless, it's still a good photograph. And again, it was all analyzed, and they found out that this craft is true. But they said that about George Adamski flying saucer.
The thing is, when you're analyzing a photograph, you can only tell when you're analyzing a photograph if the object is there. Whether it's a fake object is a different thing, as opposed to when you're analyzing, you're looking for certain things like is it been overlaid, has something been added? So there's definitely something there, and that's as to what it is. That's what me, yourself, the people in the chat, the people that are listening later on, they decide for themselves. Is this a real object? Is somebody pulling out a plonker or?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you know, there's no background shot. It's a very close-up shot, which again refers back to the German flying saucer photographs. You know, it's all close up. You might get a little bit of a tree in there, but otherwise, there's nothing distinguished. You can actually find out and say, okay, this is actually concrete proof. There's actually something in the background you can actually tell and distinguish. So yeah, it's a tricky one, man. It's a tricky one. And again, I can remember seeing documentaries about Billy Meyer and saying how real that was back in the 80s and 90s. It's like, come on. I mean, so I think people's perception has changed over the years, but nevertheless, it's still a fantastic photograph. So yeah, let's move on to some eyewitness testimonies, I should say. So on the 22nd. This is it, mate. It's all testimonies. That's it. That's all you got, really. So on April the 22nd of 1990, 8 reports that very night. One eyewitnessed the craft being as a hold on, wait a minute, trapezoidal platform, if that's ever a word. He described it as 70 to 90 meters on either side.
That's
So
huge.
it's huge. And what he said, it looked like underneath, like an aircraft carrier. That's what he described it as. It almost looked like there was distinguished passing and go underneath. And he described it as an aircraft carrier, basically. So kind of possibly built on Earth. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see when it comes. Talk about it a bit later. What else we got here? Skip forward. Again, here's some more sketches of the craft. Here's another one. Here's some more sketches. So these are all taken from different eyewitnesses. Go ahead, Ian.
That was what I was going to ask you.
Yeah. This is all taken from different eyewitness testimony, especially the three right and the bottom two. So this is. So there's something going on. It's such a good. I mean, eyewitnesses' testimonies. Okay, is a weak form of evidence. It is, isn't it? Because it's just like a bunch of trust me, bro.
Well,
but when you've got sketches, when you're getting sketches like this, is all producing the same craft with the same lights. You can't deny that there's something going on. 100%.
Well, I just want to jump in. I'm going to say two things, right? First of all. Yeah. Guys in the chat, guys watching this, you see this channel put up, please give him a check, give him a subscribe, doing a great job. Okay, so check him out. Secondly, I want to say this: when you said about eyewitness reports, if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, you could say, especially in now times with the internet, you could say it's a group of people getting together to fabricate a story. But when was this? I believe it was the 90s.
Yeah, 1990. No, this is 1990.
1990. Yeah, no worries, brother. Yeah. You deserve the subs, man. And I hope you get your monetization problems sorted out. I really hope. I did ask you to email me, so maybe we could have a chat and see what's going on. But I hope you get it sorted. Much love, brother. But back to this now. When you've got so many eyewitnesses from military to police officers, you kind of got to give a bit of credence, even with Joe Public. You know, I understand about witness statements, and sometimes things are added on or embellished, or sometimes they just generally forget things. This is why witness statements change from one week to the other. You get what I'm saying? So this is, to me, this is credible because you got so many witnesses from so many different areas, different walks of life. You get what I mean? No, you got like you got it. You got a colonel. You got a colonel with his wife who saw this object, and surely they know that they can identify what's theirs and what ain't.
Absolutely, that makes them more. I mean, like I said, you know, in one night you had 24 police and military officers saying the same thing. Like, what's this bloody triangular craft going on? I mean, it really makes no sense. Plus the eyewitness testimonies. I mean, we're talking about thousands here. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I haven't really looked into the book as such of the sketches, but there are so many of the same craft from different people from different walks of life. Is quite credible, really. So again, it sort of backs up the phenomena actually as being real. And not being debunked as like helicopters, which we'll get to in a minute. So this fine young gentleman. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah.
Was that Mick West who said that by any chance? I'm sorry, Mick.
No.
Love you, brother.
No, okay. That was Michael Shermer, but we'll get to him in a minute. Right, let's have a little look. This
is another eyewitness, or was this a spokesman?
This is Major General Walfred de Buer. Is that?
I think I would go for that.
I'll go for that. Yeah, I think it's good enough. So he's chief of operations at the Belgian Air Force, and at the time, like I said, military, police, and public eyewitness going, what the bloody hell's going on? So the military was like, right, we're going to investigate this, find out what the bloody hell's going on. So this chap here was part of the operation. They're trying to find out what the hell's going on the skies in Belgium. And he had help from this group, which is called the civilian research groups are called
SOBIPs.
SOBIPs. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So in a way, it's like MUFON. It's like a public research. People who's looking into UFOs is like their own organization. So I guess it's like the Belgian or German equivalent of what MUFON is. So that's what this is, I believe, anyway. So they investigated 650 reports from the Air Force, and they couldn't explain about 500 of them. So there's, again, 600 Air Force. This is like military they're talking about, and they couldn't explain 500 reports of them. So and they had one F-16 fighter scramble to intercept the craft and managed to obtain data from this.
Is that from the Belgian army?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah,
is that what Jaded J am I saying your name right? Am I saying that right? Jendid UFO research. I'm very bad at pronouncing names. But guys, please give him a sub. Jendid. Are we saying it right? Jendid? If we are, just say yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Jendid, yeah. So yeah, this is the actual
so is this it from the Belgian army?
This is it, yeah. We'll play the video in a minute. But this is a screenshot of the actual craft itself. But again, this is radar. It's showing the heat of the craft as such, so you're not getting a perfect triangle. So you're just going to get, what you think might be a craft. And yeah, so that in a nutshell was pretty much what the Belgian UFO wave was. I mean, we can go through some videos, a few more sketches if you wanted to, but it all shows the same thing. Debunkers like Michael Shermer claims that about 2,000 eyewitness testimonies and 200 military witnesses saw helicopters, according to Michael Shermer back in the day. So so you had 2,000 eyewitness testimonies and 200 military witnesses saying, "Oh no, you just saw helicopters."
Triangular shaped helicopter.
Exactly, yeah. So there you go, guys. It's all been debunked. There you go. Trust Michael Shermer.
Trust me. I don't know. I never even heard of this guy. So
he's a skeptic.
Well, skeptics always have a go-to answer, even though logic will dictate that what they're saying is completely wrong. We've seen the original picture. We've seen the enhanced, so we can see that it is a triangular-shaped object. Now, what helicopter on God's green earth is triangular-shaped?
And looks like that as well.
I mean, let's say any rubbish. I'd have been more believing if he turned around and said it was a party balloon that somebody attached lights to.
There's something you would say.
Say something so absurd that this is a helicopter. That's not only making yourself look stupid, it's making the people that believe what you're saying look stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I'm getting off my pedestal, man.
No, that's cool, man. You're right. You're good. But that is basically it, guys. So from the period of the late 80s, from 1989 to 1991, you had a period of this craft flying around Belgium. Public, military, police were seeing this, all saying the same thing. And suddenly it just disappeared. Now, there have been a few reports of triangular craft popping in and out of our airspace. I think in America, I'm not too sure, but this has been seen around the world, I believe. Don't trust me on that one, but I have seen triangle. I mean, obviously, we're talking about the 3 dots on each side of the craft.
Have you seen what Jaden just wrote? It's on the screen.
Oh right, God, that's interesting. So yeah, the object descended from 4,000 meters to 1,500 meters in
In
3 seconds,
3 seconds.
according to the Belgian army. Wow.
So
I
so
mean,
would that dictate? Because now here's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
I have to share it with you. Would that dictate that there couldn't be humans in this craft? Because imagine a fall that fast in that amount of time, the G forces, the pressure that would have been on you.
I mean, I understand your point of view, man, but this is you're dealing with high tech technology here in regards of. I don't know how these things work, but I imagine the person inside the craft would not be affected. So you can go at 1,000 miles an hour, and it'll just be like I'm sitting in talking to you right now. You know, I don't a possibility. Who knows, man? Oh, yeah, how's it going? So who knows, man? I mean, a lot of people, I think the Belgian military thought that this possibly might have been American test craft, experimental craft. But the Pentagon denied it. Of course, they're going to bloody deny it. Really, when you look at it, of course. So,
did the Chinese deny it?
That I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody ever thinks now we do, but back in the days, nobody ever thought, "Hey, could this be China?"
It could.
We're happy. We're happy to have their TVs. We're happy to have their motorcycles, but.
No,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing because
there's one witness I forgot to say that one of the witnesses was driving down the highway and he saw this craft and it got so low he actually flashed his lights because he's driving down the highway. He flashed his lights at the craft twice, and then the two side lights of the craft pointed towards the car and flashed 3 times. Apparently, and it actually followed the car down the highway, and it just speeded off and went away. That was one report from one of the public testimonies. It's fascinating. So it has some sort of intelligence. Otherwise, the Americans thought, "Oh, let's take the piss out of this guy. Come on, it's like chase him down the highway a little bit." But there's some sort of intelligence behind it, whether or not it's the Aurora program. I don't know if you heard of the Aurora hidden or anyone in the chat. It's supposed to be the new type of spy plane that's supposed to be supersonic. I've seen something like that, but it's not a perfect triangle. It's more
elongated.
Elongated. Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen because somebody accidentally caught a picture of it.
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah,
way high up. Do you remember? Maybe last year,
I do.
The picture circulated, and I don't think the government. I don't think the government was too pleased that my man just put it on the internet. But he did the best thing. He did the best thing. Just put it out there.
Well, if they're flying it around, it's going to get caught. I mean, someone's going to catch it. I mean, I've seen something like that in the sky, extremely high up. Mostly fascinating stuff. But I believe that's not this craft, but what we were describing as most likely be the Aurora. But this craft, who knows? It flies silently. It descends a red ball from the center. It has red beams coming out of the side, according to the police officer.
I hate to say it, but isn't this exactly what the TR3B?
TR3B, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
isn't that exactly how they describe it? Especially with the red glowing light in the center. I don't know what's going on with my PC back there.
That's got ghosts in your place, mate. I have heard that. The guy who broke that was named Edgar Fouché in 1997. Described the TR3B as a triangular craft that used something called quasi crystals as a propulsion system. There's a whole lecture of his on the internet. You can go search for it. His name's Edgar Fouché. It's a good thing you brought that up, actually, because that totally didn't cross my mind, actually, when researching this. There is some sort of correlation between the two. The 3 lights. I don't think he said there was a central red light, but who knows what the Europeans, the Americans, Chinese got in terms of technology. But you would think of propulsion systems hidden, having a triangular craft and the 3 gravity waves on each side. It does kind of make sense, doesn't it? Instead of having a circular disc shape, you're actually supporting the craft by the three, I'm guessing, propulsion systems on the exterior of the craft. And the red light, I don't know. I just probably duck cows or something like that. You see what I mean? It fits a good propulsion system craft, if you know what I mean. But who knows what the military's got? Who knows?
I'm just really a bit perplexed that they didn't call it diaphragm crystals. Bit of Star Trek joke, but never mind.
That's why I thought it was Star Trek. Yeah. So yeah, it's a fascinating case that kind of gets glossed over a lot in ufology. I mean, I know with me being on Alien Addict, we never really brought it up as such. I know we go into sort of deep dives into old cases. But yeah, this is quite fascinating.
So whatever happened to this? It just all of a sudden they just stopped. They were seen no more, because this happened. This happened over a length of period. This wasn't just 1 or 2 nights. This was for several months. People were seeing this craft.
Yeah.
Well, how many? You said there was about 2. There was 2.
There was 2 crafts apparently. Yeah, I forgot to say one of the police officers witnessed actually 2 of these crafts doing the same thing, producing the red beams going down with the central ball coming down the bottom and then rising up, and eventually the craft will fly off. So there are actually 2 of these. It's really some intense tech. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. So I would reckon, judging how long this craft was showing, this most probably, in my conclusion, was probably a test aircraft from America, probably somewhere in Europe. It came to a point where the military was looking into it and they thought, okay, let's stop doing this. I mean, Belgium. I mean, what's going on in Belgium? Apparently, is a really boring place. Is anyone in chat from Belgium?
No, don't say that, man. There was somebody in the chat from Belgium.
Oh, is it? I would say a boring place. I would say there's like nothing really going on there. So it's like a silent town to a certain degree. Not this in Belgium. I'm sure it's a beautiful place with beautiful people. But if it's doing it in a place where it's
too late,
it's too late. It's too late now. Yeah, trust me, where I come from, we're all assholes. So don't worry. So it's okay. But if it would make sense to do it in a place where it's less populated. I don't know why they would do it over Belgium, over where there's witnesses and police and military can see it. There might have been a sort of warehouse somewhere or military place that was nearby, and they were launching this thing as they were testing it, and maybe it's just a fluke that people just saw it.
See, now you beat me to it, Rotary, because that's what, to me, I think you found. If they were testing it, see, there you go. Now you have to apologize to Linda because she's from Belgium.
Yeah, Linda, I apologize. I'm sure the people in Belgium are lovely. Apparently it's a beautiful place. I've seen. Okay, Hidden, you can put it away now. Thank you.
He's backtracking. But now to me, I think if you was going to do a psyop, me and Rotary's on the same page here. You're going to find a place that is populated, but not overly populated. Because if I can remember about Belgium, there's a lot of fields and grasslands out there. It's not a heavily populated area. Am I right, Linda? So this would be kind of your ideal testing ground to put an object in the sky and kind of, let's see how the public react to this. Let's see the police, how they react to seeing something. Let's see also possibly how the military will react. Or maybe how the military reacted was an accidental finding, because if I'm going to put something out, let's say that is our tech. If I was going to put something out like that, the amount of money I would have spent on that, because that's going to be some sort of prototype. So you're talking that then in the 90s, a couple of billion was unlocked.
Oh,
you're going to have, you would want to have every contingency in place. Like, what if this thing gets shot down? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if a photograph gets taken of this object? where is our deniability in this craft? So but for testing it for that long, I mean, let me just have a quick gander.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Belgium now. It's a beautiful place, really stunning. It's again, it's not a heavy populated area, and Roderian definitely makes a good point. If you want to test a craft like that, it would make sense to do it around a less populated area, just to see what the public would act like. But you also got the military, and if they're scrambling F-16 fighters and they're going to shoot this thing down, they would need precautions. But like, I forgot the chap's name. He was mentioned that the craft was at 5,000 meters and descended at 1,500.
Jendy. Let's say UFO research.
UFO researcher, yeah.
So we don't have to, and I hope he knows who we're on about. But yeah. Okay, now I've just gone back and had a look, and the first sighting was in November the 29th, 1989.
Yeah.
And it lasted till April 1990. So you're looking at what? November, December,
you're looking about 7
January,
months?
February, March, April. About 6.
6 months, yeah. 6 months, yeah.
6 months. 6 months. And this craft was seen on a nightly basis.
I won't say on a nightly, but no, it was the list that I gave in the presentation. It was repeatedly seen, but not on every single consistent every single night, I should say. It would have been 1 week, and then a couple of weeks went, and then another one. But because they were starting to get traction, people started to look up in the sky more, and so this is why the witness testimony started to increase. And then the military started getting involved and scrambling F-16 fighters, and I think that's when it came to a stop. When I believe the data was collected.
Rotary's got a good question. Was there any daytime sightings?
Do you know what? I don't think there is, mate. I didn't see any. Because if this was done at night, that'll explain more of a human side. Because you see how dark that photograph, this photograph here, the original photograph, that's dark. You see, so it would make sense if this was human tech to do it at night. Do you want to bring us some videos, Hidden? Do you want to see if we bring some videos up?
Certainly. So we're unsure if there was any daytime sightings, but maybe one of the witnesses might have said it. And what you do have a problem with the story that is running about. You know what? You know, sometimes when there's something going down and a few people are seeing it, you're going to get a couple that's going to say, you know what? I seen it too. When they really ain't.
Yeah, they want to get in a piece of the action, isn't it, really?
I just want to see me waving in the reflection. Hey, Nick, who's that guy standing behind you with the suitcase?
Don't start it. I'm going to swear. I know.
don't swear. PG-13.
I know. PG-13. Yes. We are Disney at the moment. So yeah.
No, we're not on Disney. We're not on Disney. We're not on.
Not
Disney.
there yet. All right. Okay.
We're definitely not on Disney, man.
Right. Right. Let's play this video. It's only 3.5 minutes long. Let's do this.
Perhaps the most convincing evidence for UFOs can be found in Brussels, of all places. For a period of about 2 years, the whole country was affected by a wave of sightings. They'd been seen by witnesses, the police, and by local radar stations.
I like that music.
The Belgian army was forced to take the claims seriously. They allowed their F-16 fighter aircraft to be involved in trying to intercept these UFOs. They had the full backing of the chief of the Belgian air staff, Colonel de Brouwer.
Initially, we thought that some of these observations were caused by atmospheric interference, such as weather conditions or electromagnetic interference. But later on, we found out that at certain moments, indeed, we could relate one visual observation with one observation on the radar. And of course, then we said, well, to have a confirmation, it may be very useful to have an additional observation from an aircraft.
The aircraft were deployed as part of a routine training program. Most times, nothing was seen, except on one particular night.
The night of 3rd and 34th March, we had an observation on the radar, and in addition, a visual observation on the ground confirmed by the police. We decided to send 2 airplanes in the air around midnight.
This video of the F-16's radar track of the object showed the performance of a vehicle of a totally unknown origin. The Air Force were at a complete loss to explain their findings. A press conference was called.
What these pilots detected was well outside the normal flying envelope of an airplane. Sometimes they had what we call lock-ons, which gave a parameters varying from speeds between 150 knots till 990 knots. An acceleration which occurred in a few seconds.
The Americans denied it was a secret spy plane, so could it have been the first official contact with an alien craft?
These speeds would be impossible to tolerate for a human being. That's a first point. A second point is the visual observations always describe a system, a machine, which hangs and hovers above the surface at quite a low altitude without making any noise. Now, with the current technology, that will be impossible.
So far, the Belgian authorities have refused to announce any official conclusion to subsequent investigations. Could it be the Aurora? Is it likely a UFO could have come from a faraway galaxy? After all, it took us 3 days just to get to the moon.
There we go.
There you go. There was a point that he made that was very interesting, because they came into it towards the end of the, maybe their interference or their involvement might have scared this thing off.
Which suggests it's not Belgian or not German or around that European area. It must be somewhere else. Well, to think about it, because I mean, I'm not saying that the Belgian army are going to know about this craft as such, but if it's getting that much traction by the end, they're actually stopping the operations because they're getting the military involved, and the last thing they want is this craft to be shot down, even though it can go fantastic speeds. If this is going by, this was created on Earth as a man-made project. So it's a tricky one, man. But yeah, I don't think there was any reports in the daytime that I've seen anyway in the past week and a half. I've been researching this, so it's all been at night. So yeah, there we go.
I think too that one thing that stood out to me when the Belgian held a press conference. You see, that's how the rest of the world should be. They held a press conference and said, "Look, we've got something out here that's outside the envelope of any aircraft we know."
Are you talking about the Disclosure Project in 2001?
No, I'm talking right there in that video. They held the press conference. They held a press conference showing their data, and their guy was saying, "Look, this isn't something that, this isn't our natural aircraft. This is something outside of our control."
Yeah. So the military don't know about it.
This is how the rest of the world needs to handle it, and especially now. You should just do that. Hold a press conference. Hey, we caught this. This is the information on our radar. Not have some guy come in and say, "Trust me, bro.
Yeah. You make a good point, man. I mean, you would have thought Arrow would take more responsibility as being the US Pentagon official UFO program, to actually look into this and be honest and say, look, okay, we don't. I mean, they say you don't know what it is, but these are like bloody balls of light, for Christ's sake. But what the guy was presenting was quite compelling to say, look, we scrambled these crafts, we don't know what they are. Okay, they're not bloody Tic Tacs and that, but there are.
Sorry,
but this is a craft, a triangular craft as such, not a flipping ball of light. You know,
and not only was it picked up on radar and seen in the air, it was also seen from the ground as well. And this is what this man is saying. So you know, you have a military man coming out saying this. There's a question for you on the screen, Nick. Can you see?
Oh, sorry, I was looking at other videos. Nick, have you heard of the TR3A Astra, supposed prototype of the TR3B Black Manta? No, I haven't, Joes. No, I haven't, mate. What's that? Have a little look. TR3A Astra. I'm gonna Google that.
We all know who Phil Snyder is and love the guy.
Yeah.
Love the guy. So
Kaden, what
worry.
do you think of that?
Sorry.
What was it? TR3.
I'll put it back up for you. There you are.
TR3A. Okay. TR3A.
You got to get your Mr. Magoo specs on.
Yeah. It's terrible, honestly. And you got to get that sorted.
God,
but Phil Schneider, I don't know if you ever want to do an episode on Phil Schneider, mate, because I know we did one on Alien Addict. Yeah, I'm like 50-50 with the guy. I don't want to divert the program, but
I'm kind of like that with him as well. I like the guy. I want to believe the guy. I mean, even when he shows you his fingers missing, I want to believe the guy. But I kind of think a guy like that, he would have been offed a long time ago. He wouldn't have been able to. If what he was saying is truth, they would have offed him a long time ago. I mean, they're often people. There are often people that are telling you they're a cure for certain illnesses. And if you don't, if you don't believe me, you can look into that. So a guy who's going around saying I've been into dumb, and I've seen aliens. I've actually had a battle with one with their weapon. That's 150-50. Maybe they thought, you know what? Let him go and talk. Who's gonna believe him? That's a possibility.
I mean, but the thing is, I've noticed people in the truth movement, and especially the UFO community, they are great talkers. They're very good at persuading people because the way they articulate their wording and how they present themselves. I mean, Phil Schneider reminds me of the old tradition American man. You know what I mean? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like traditional values and stuff like that. So a part of me of that just sounds genuine. You know, he seems like he loves his country and all. And so I totally understand there's a human side to Phil. But when you look at the side of, there's a lot of paperwork that came out about his mental health. He was in a psychiatric ward. He had schizophrenia. I believe it was schizophrenia. I know he was on a cocktail of drugs because I know he had certain illnesses. I know.
No,
but apparently, I mean, Phil, he was on constant pain and all that. So who knows, man? But it's still. Let's move away from Phil because I like to say that for another episode. Because he's a fascinating guy and he's got tons of material out there. But it's sketchy. Nevertheless,
he is. He's somebody. He's somebody I would like to believe. And that's why I know who he is. And I do. Yeah. I have respect for him. If anything more than just a storyteller. Because I enjoy hearing over and over again what happened in that base. When he talks about it, I enjoy it. I enjoy the story.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. Definitely. I mean, Rotary says, I heard he cut his own fingers off. I heard that too, apparently. I think apparently he was working in the factory. And apparently, I don't know. Should we save
like
it for another
this-
episode? Should we do a Phil
like to
Schneider
see-
episode?
Could you imagine Phil Snyder going to his insurance company and saying, I was just blasted by some ray, man. They took my fingers off. I want compo.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, let's move away from Phil because we're going to talk about him a lot. I mean, I don't know if you want to do an episode on him, like for the next one, if you wanted to.
Would you guys be interested in seeing a Phil Snyder show?
Yeah, fancy it for the next show.
Well, I'm down. But don't forget,
Yeah.
we have a little announcement. We'll be making an announcement at the end of the show because, well, we're not finished with the Belgian Wave by far, aren't we? Is there still more to come?
That is pretty much the story behind it. I have showed sketches, which the other sketches are all more or less the same hidden, to be honest with you. There's only one photograph. I'll try and get up another video for you. It's an old style, back in the early 90s documentary. It's only about 10 minutes, well, less than 10 minutes long. So I'll try and get that up for you now. But that is basically the overall story, mate, of what the Belgian UFO wave is. Immensely fascinating. I think there's some credibility to it. Out of all the UFO encounters I've seen, this is quite compelling. I have to admit, this is definitely on my radar. Yes, Joey. Yes. Should we do
No, I think we should. I think we should. It's quite entertaining, and I will definitely 420 on that one.
Yeah. Who's Freddie says who's William Tompkins? Have you heard of him?
Isn't he an English actor? No, I never heard of him. To me personally, I don't know a lot of these names. Because I don't give them any credence. And the reason why I don't give them any credence is they don't come with any evidence. They come with trust me, bro. And I'm gonna use that because I think that's a brilliant analogy in what all these big names are doing at the moment. So I don't know. I don't know who he is.
Oh, I realize it. I recognize his face. Yeah, it's been a long time I looked at him. Yeah. Reptilians on the moon. Oh, yes. Secret extraterrestrials. Oh, yes. Deep dive. I'll save that. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that, Freddie. Yeah, much appreciated. Yeah, I'll have a look at him. Yeah, but he definitely does ring a bell, his face. But yeah, do you fancy a Phil Schneider show for next week? Or
try and say that real fast. Say that real fast. Phil Schneider.
Phil Schneider.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Do you know what? I shouldn't 420 too early in the show. This is the problem.
Nah, don't worry. I'm the straight man now.
So you say.
And I am going to say that. And if that triggers anybody out there, that's your problem, not mine. Yeah. So okay. Now this is the part where I'm going to ask you guys' opinions. What do you guys think about the Belgian wave? Because I feel there's more there. Did you have any witness testimonies? Are they in English or would they be speaking their language? Which would
no,
be
it will be in German. Yeah,
Belgianese. I just made up Belgianese, by the way. We'll get it in the dictionary. What language do Belgians speak? Belgianese. You're an idiot.
I thought. No, you're not an idiot. What are you talking about? I've got a good sense of humor, man. I think I've got a video here. Just see if it's the right bit.
And then
what's the chat saying about this then? So what's chat saying? Belgians speak French. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Will make sense.
There you go. See how stupid we are. Well, I'll speak for myself. I'm stupid. That's right. Hit that like in the chat. Hit that like. Yep. You got it. French. You can like and you can share. I do not recommend you subscribe because the hidden underbelly, I've heard a lot of things about him.
Mate, let me bring up a clip.
No.
Sorry for the silence.
So Belgianese is a word because somebody's wrote no. The Belgianese speak French. So I didn't make up a word. It is a word. There we go. Okay. But me and Nick are also planning a show, or Nick and myself are also planning a show, but we are going to take it off the YouTube platform.
Yes.
Yes, did I call you Super Cat? Space Cat. I always call you Super Cat for some reason. Sorry, man. Sorry. All right, we're planning a show, and it's something that I really like, and it's a topic that I think we need to explore. But the problem is YouTube doesn't like us talking about this topic. And I'll tell you what it is. And when we get the show up and running, but I'm going to tell you now, if you guys are of a squeamish nature, because we've got graphic pictures to show you and stuff, it's off the human mutilations. We all know about the cattle mutilations, but not many people talk about what's going on with human beings and these. And I think we need to talk about this because there is something very nefarious that is occurring.
Yeah,
and we have photographic evidence. We have testimonies of this. So we're gonna take it over to Rumble. Hopefully, we're gonna check out the ins and outs because nobody wants to get in any trouble. You know, I wish YouTube.
I think Rumble, it's sexual content and hate speech. I think those are the two things.
But because of the picture, yes. Now I'm not going to give too much away, but you got it. Oh,
is that the website you're talking about?
Yeah, but this guy who put this together, he crammed it up. He's done it.
Can I just ask a question? Is there any recent human mutilations in recent days or the past 10 years in England?
I know there was one in England. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I always remember, I think it was at the Brecon Beacons they found it. So,
is that hidden? Is that in Wales or near Wales?
Near Wales.
Right. Okay. I think. Okay. Yeah, we're not too sure when we're going to do it, but I'm pretty sure Hidden will let us know when that will happen at some point. We just need to check a few things and all that. If you want to know more about human mutilation, if you go onto a website I recommend called Richard D. Hall, you've probably heard him in the news. I think it's quite disgusting the way he's been treated, to be honest with you, a bit like Alex Jones. But if you go onto his website, Richard D. Hall, he does have videos on cattle mutilation and human mutilation. And I strongly recommend you to have a little look at that. And Rotary, don't I stopped thinking about that. Mate, I got a murderer.
You asked me. You asked if there have been any recent mutilations. There you go. Very bad. I'm sorry.
That's it's humor. I fucking love it. I swore. Damn it.
That was Rotary.
I appreciate.
if anybody's gonna be upset about that comment, that was Rotary who did that, not me. All right. I'm just only saying what Rotary wanted me to say. He's messaging me right now to say that. No. I did say it. I'm sorry. But
it's all good. I'm still here. Yeah, man. So check out Richard D. Hall. He's got fantastic videos on both subjects. Strongly recommend it to prepare yourself for what is to come.
That's the last one. That's it.
Oh God! Oh, bloody hell!
Yeah, no, it's you, boy. Yeah.
I should have never brought it up. Hidden, you brought it up. I should have never said anything. Anyway. Do you know? I'm quite interested to find out what's going to happen. So this is just a little brief clip. We're going on about the Belgian Wave. So this was shortly after. You can find us on YouTube. It's called Beyond UFO Sightings.
And who's this guy? Is this an eyewitness?
This is. I have no idea. Just let him talk and see what happens.
Willing to share the negative for further analysis.
It's all crackly.
That adds to the authenticity. Well, that doesn't look like
In
a
this
Belgian
next
wave.
case,
Hang on, wait a minute.
and a very interesting dome
Wait a
object.
minute, hold on. There we go.
There we go.
A very interesting UFO event happened in Belgium over a number of months, with literally thousands of eyewitnesses on the ground. This case involved photographs, it involved radar, it involved military jet intercepts,
I'm tripping out
and
with this picture.
a highly credible analysis, photographic analysis of a 35 millimeter photograph that was taken from the ground.
That's the original.
A nighttime shot of what appears to be a triangular airform with very bright lights, one at each corner of the triangle, and then a orange-red light pretty much at the center of the object as well. 2 books have been published by the UFO group in Belgium, in Brussels, documenting a great deal of the evidence, including eyewitness drawings and photographs and so forth, other evidence. This object was tracked at very high speed by the official military authorities, the Air Force. As a matter of fact, one of the leading Air Force officers at the time acknowledged that he could not explain what this phenomenon was. It remains unidentified. To me, one of the fascinating and valuable aspects of this Belgian case from 1989 was
Pause it a second.
that when the
Yeah, it's bloody doing my tinnitus in, man. All that screeching.
No,
Yeah. You saying
It's
it?
not. I'm just now. What's that he's showing? Is that an actual,
Yeah, this
or
is
is
it.
that a
This is the-
reconstruction? That's
No,
an
that's-
actual piece of footage.
Yeah, it's actual footage. Yeah, that's an actual footage.
Oh, I
of
didn't
it.
know there was
But-
footage. I thought there was only one picture.
No, this is the documentary I wanted to bring up because it does show this footage from. This is the only one I can find on YouTube. Yeah,
investigators.
that's it. So it has the flashing light in the sensor, as you can see, pulsating with the 3 lights. And this was taken in Belgium. So this is exactly what the eyewitness testimony was saying. Just like the guy was just saying, thousands of people saw this. So yeah, that is
The
original footage.
UFO investigators in Brussels went to the military officials. The officials were ready and willing and able to cooperate. And if we can find this level of cooperation in Belgium, we should be able to find this level of cooperation in America. So once again, we have a foreign case, highly credible witnesses, photographic evidence, radar evidence, visual evidence, all correlating to the same space and time. I don't know what more evidence a scientist would want to take a look at. And to claim that there's no photograph, or there's no physical evidence is just, that's not true. To automatically exclude verbal testimony, as some people would like to do in this case, might be convenient to avoid looking at the evidence. On the other hand, verbal evidence is oftentimes used in courts of law to bring people to justice. And why that level of proof is not adequate in this domain, UFO studies, I don't understand, except perhaps on one basis, and that would be
to suppress the truth.
A simple denial mechanism.
Yeah.
That perhaps as a culture, as a species, we are in denial about this phenomenon. Evidence, as I said earlier, of a photographic nature is not sufficient in itself. But when we take a look at this photographic evidence in combination with the narrative, with the social situation that surrounds it, with the knowledge of the camera, the film, the processing, and so forth and so on, we are in a much stronger position to say that the evidence is compelling and is suggestive. And I, again, urge my colleagues from many points of view, many academic disciplines, to take a look at the evidence, come to your own conclusions, rather than just accepting the conclusions of other people.
It's a helicopter, but Yeah, there's a little clip from an old documentary, Beyond UFO Sightings.
Is there any how you could rewind that back? I'd like to have a look at the footage now, because that's what I like. I like footage, and I've seen the picture, but I ain't never seen the footage. Here we go.
There we go. Let's have a little look at this.
As a matter of fact, one of the leading Air Force officers at the time acknowledged that he could not explain what this phenomenon was. It remains unidentified. To me, one of the fascinating and valuable aspects of this Belgian case from 1989 was that when the private investigators, the UFO investigators in Brussels, went to the military officials, the officials were ready and
considering the year that was filmed, but the footage itself it's very good, because it looks like it's either underneath it, and in my opinion, if anybody's going to argue those are some sort of landing lights, then you would automatically see, and the camera stayed with it enough to see if there would be any navigational lights, which there's none.
Yeah. I mean, you don't normally see a flashing light underneath a extraterrestrial craft. It's more or less a steady light. There's only like military craft that has a flashing light,
and commercial.
Yeah, commercial as well. Joe says in chat here, Nick, would you say that the TR-3B is powered by a multi-terrorized nuclear power plant? UFO often rumors
miniaturized.
Yeah, thank you. Miniaturized, sorry. Honestly, anything to do with nuclear power, especially craft, if that thing explodes, you're going to have a catastrophe on your hand. I mean, you think about nuclear power, if that thing explodes, if it's in the air, or, I mean, look at like nuclear power plants and what that does. So I think the technology has moved away. I'm not doubting if they probably experiment on that, but the physics of that, I mean, anything nuclear explodes is you've got radiation. The explosion is going to be extraordinary. Like, it's going to be huge. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I making the point right here? Then is that?
See again, but because we don't know the workings of these crafts. Because I wouldn't expect something to explode. I would expect it to implode, collapse like on itself. But I don't know. We don't know what are fueling these objects.
Yeah.
You know, we put them. We as humans, we put them in our category of what we know. In the category of what we know, and then they defy everything that we know. Here's another question for you. I'm feeling left out, Joe. It's not Joe, it's Jose. Sorry.
How do you pronounce the name?
I would say Jose. Am I right? Am I right? Just say yes if I'm right and say no if I'm wrong, and then that's it. Well, I would say Jose. Jose Sanchez. But
Honestly,
he says, Nick, could the Rake cryptoid be an offshoot of an ET experiment on aliens human DNA?
Wow, that's a big question. I have absolutely no idea where to go with that question.
What would you think?
I don't know,
because it kind of has a fat head.
Are you talking about the Rake the monster?
I think that's because you said the cryptoid. Thank you very much.
Oh, the Rake. That's why I think that's in the woods. Yeah. I was scaring my mum the other day. We were in the woods doing ghost hunting. And I was like, imagine if the Rake came along. It's like, oh, don't say that. Yeah, the Rake. I don't know, man. I've seen really good photographs. There's one of them that's in the movie, like a B movie. I remember. I don't know. Is the thing supposed to be real? Was it like one of those mythological legends like Chupacabra and like Bigfoot? Yeah.
And they all live in the woods. This is a pretty crowded woods, but whenever you go in the woods, you don't see them. But then there was somebody's. I spoke with somebody about Bigfoot, and he
Yeah.
said he was some sort of expert. How can you be an expert on something you could never study? I don't know, but there you go. But he came up with an interesting theory that the reason why we don't see him is they're actually interdimensional beings.
Yeah, we go for that. Honestly, no, I'm saying I'm looking at the pictures of the rake. God, it's frightening. I mean, I've come to the conclusion that aliens and UFOs, possibly ghosts, are all interconnected together. I mean, specifically orbs. We see orbs in the sky. We see orbs in photographs, in various photographs, whether you think it's dust or not. But there's definitely something there, 100%. And I started to believe it's all interconnected. So,
yeah, sorry.
The idea, definitely not.
I was gonna say that I saw a few years back, I saw a picture of an orb, and it had a face in it.
Yeah, I got a picture of that. I've got a picture of a face,
and it kind of blew my mind. So some things, I mean, it's the common go-to that these things are dust. And let's I'm not going to argue it. I mean, you know, I will agree 90% of what we see orbs are dust. But then there's sometimes these dust particles, they do something that they shouldn't do. Like they stop in mid-flow and then they change direction.
Yeah.
But then when you get a good one that somebody says, "Hey, have a look at this, man. Can you see what I see?" I don't like it when they say, "Can you see a face?" Because straight away you're looking, "Oh yeah, I can see
a
face." But if they say, "Can you see what I see?" and you look and you can see the face, and you say, "Look, I see a face, man," and they say, "That's exactly what I'm seeing."
I'm trying to get this photograph. I literally got an orb and there's a face in it. I mean, it's so obvious, but I have to go into my hard drive, mate. I have to probably leave it. But
thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Space Cat. Thank you. Much appreciated.
I still say you should change your name. I guarantee you, if you change your name to Super Cat, I'll call you Space Cat. But thank you very much, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
So yeah, I've got the idea that everything's all connected. I do. I believe there. I mean, I've talked about this many times. I've taken loads of like magic mushrooms. I've had some incredible big trips, and it almost pierces the veil of the filter of reality, I should say, and you start to see life for what it is. Well, a perception of reality that you could see, but it believes it heightens your senses. And you can start to see the other veil, which is, I believe, where these entities lie. Because my missus says to me, little story. When I have like these big mushroom trips, I would have these big trips, and I can always see a black shadow in the hallway here. I would never communicate with it because every time I need to go pee, I had to like avoid I had to literally avoid going into the actual hallway because I knew it was there. Especially when I was like off my tits on mushrooms. But I never communicated to it. But it's only recently I've started to notice on the corner of my eye something moving past. But the other day, my missus comes in. She goes, "Have you noticed like there's a black shadow like in the hallway?" I'm like, "Go on." I'm like, "Go on. What else are you seeing?" She says, "Yeah, I'm seeing something in the hallway, a black shadow." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I see when I'm on mushrooms." But I'm seeing it now. But we had this conversation hidden. Don't interact with it.
Why?
Don't interact with it.
Why?
Because the activity is
You're
gonna
welcome. Yeah. Well, sometimes like I do tend to believe with the paranormal. See, I have this old thing, and I know this is gonna sound dumb, but I get it.
Oh, go ahead.
And I believe that there are a lot of different entities in this world. And growing up in Florida, this is how I equate the paranormal world. is in Florida, we used to like to keep the black snakes. They were wild snakes. We didn't have them as pets. But
Right.
the black snakes were very territorial. They're non-venomous and they're very territorial. So as long as they got everything they need in your yard, they're not going to go. They'll stay there. And the reason why you have these black snakes there is because when the rattlesnakes want to turn up, or the coral snakes, the snakes that will do you harm, these black snakes not only will run them off, but if they can't run them off, they'll kill them and eat them. So they basically keep your yard free of the bad ones. Now, put that to ghosts. Not all. Yeah, I grew up in Florida. Not all ghosts now, are going to be bad.
Sure.
So when you're running out of ghost, because that doorway's there, you're running out of something, but you may be allowing something else to come in. So
yeah, I understand. You almost like welcome him in it, like an invitation. It's touchy, man, you know. But the thing I see, the black shadow is not threatening. I don't find it threatening at all. You know, I'm just curious of it. I know it's there. It's probably always been here. I've just never seen it. But it's weird that me and the missus are starting to see it. I find it a bit too coincidence. But yeah, you're right, man. I think everything's all interconnected. I think, yeah.
So where are we at now?
I don't know, brother. I don't think there's anything to go on with the Belgian wave. It's an interesting case, but there's not a lot to go on regardless if you look into the eyewitness testimony and what the military's been seeing. So yeah, I mean, that's it, man. I mean,
well, UFO research got a question for you. Have you heard of the? See, man, you're coming up with words that you know we can't pronounce. I bet you're sitting there at your computer just saying, "I'm making underbelly and Nick look like a fool," because there's no way I can't pronounce it. What's this guy? Yangsin Yauman. Have we ever seen this TRB? This guy who filmed the Burgers UFO. That don't sound right, man. Are you having a giggle with us? Is that like a Krabby Patty, but worst?
all that's coming up, mate, is washing machines for me. I don't understand why. I'm googling it now. No, I haven't heard that. No.
See, I don't know names. I might have seen the video. See, I'm not per se a researcher. I am not that. I like to look at cool footage, and you know, if I find something really cool, I'll bring it out to you.
Oh, hidden. I believe UFO researcher. Is it? How do you pronounce the first name? I want to get this right.
Jaden
UFO research. Are you talking about the Turkish UFO where you can see the aliens in the craft back in 2009? Hold on, let me because that's just come up. I didn't realize it was actually called that. Is that right?
Oh,
the Turkey UFO.
Yes. Okay, we can call you Jenny.
Call you Jenny. Okay, that's easier. Thank you.
So you're a lady. Well, I hope you are, because I just put that out there, and that doesn't mean any difference. It's just great to see ladies doing what you're doing, because we need. If you are a lady, but I'm a lady. I'm thinking of Little Britain now. Did you ever get to watch the video?
Would you? Yeah, I did. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I did.
I'm still watching it. I watch it every now and then. My favorite one is you know, the special needs girl, where she goes.
Oh man, that gets annoying after the while, bro. That gets really
hilarious.
Annoying.
That makes all I just have to do is see him, and I just start laughing.
Oh mate, I don't know. Yeah.
See, I quite recently I saw somebody do a video on this again, and he did on the Turkish one, the one that we're about to look at, and he did such a good case because he put in that, you know, even went after the debunkers, and he said they debunked this video as it being a cruise ship out in the ocean, yeah. But he turned around and said, and he had the dates and the times, and he says, as you can see, there was no ships out there.
I see. Did you say ships?
And I thought PG-13, so no, I wouldn't have.
Right, right. Bring up the video, man. Bring up the.
Sweet. I do. I agree. And I
Awesome.
think I'll be honest with you. And that is one of my bugbears, because I think when you have ladies in this community and doing in this field, the men overtalk them. I understand. I know it's a common. Well, I'm not going to say it because it makes me sound weird, but I do. So respect to you, man. Respect. And I call everybody man, but respect to you. You know, and hey, maybe down in the future, if you want to come on the show, be more than happy to have you, because I do want to push females more forward in this field, because they have as much to offer as we do.
Yeah, they have much of a voice. It's definitely more of a voice.
Exactly.
They deserve it. Yeah.
All right, let's get this video up and stop talking.
Yeah, and don't be afraid. Screw the people. Yeah,
be like the government.
Be like the government, for Christ's sake. Oh, where is this video? Right, okay. Let's do this.
See, I didn't even know it had a name. I just always know it as the Turkish UFO.
That's what I thought, yeah. So this was supposed to be an aircraft carrier, right?
No, a cruise ship. A cruise ship.
Oh, cruise ship. Right, cruise ship.
But yet the guy who did the video did his research, and he showed that there was no cruise ship in that area at that time.
Yeah. Well, if it was a cruise ship, you probably let them know there are 2 aliens on it. So.
Now look at that, man.
It's such a 2009 footage, isn't it? It's so typical 2009.
I'll tell you what. When I got into this, I don't know how to put it, because you have this version on my channel. Do you want to pull up something from Jenny's channel?
Yeah, sure. So let's
you have the stabilized version in my channel and the Chris. See, my problem with Chris now. I don't know if Jenny, do you remember when he was showing the flashlight video? I don't know if you remember, if you know what I'm referring to, but I believe he had this video out of Australia, and I looked at it myself. I don't down on people because they're doing what they're doing. And he was showing this video, and basically it was a flashlight. You couldn't tell no source or anything. It was just and people writing to him, his viewers were saying, this is the flashlight. This is what it is. You know, even sending him in links to the flashlight. And then he did another video and doubled down on it and was saying, so when I saw him do that, I think if you make a mistake, own up to the mistake. We're all human here. No one's an expert. As much as people want to say they're experts, they're not. No one is. But
technically, you need 10,000 hours of continuous work to be classified as an expert. Apparently, 10,000 hours.
Then what am I? Am I some Zen master then?
Jenny, which video is it?
Can you go? What did
Yeah,
you
I'm here
call it?
now.
Because sometimes you can search.
Oh, you got awesome Star Wars.
Oh,
stuff.
you remember the video. They even was writing to him. This was annoying. They were writing to him, telling him what flashlight it was. Even I looked at the flashlight that the guy was saying what it was, and it to me it matched up. But then he did another video doubling down, saying no way is it a flashlight, and that everybody was wrong, and he's right. That's it. Here you go. It's posted in 2023.
Right. Okay. Cool. Right. Let's do this. Let's have a little look. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm an idiot. It was right there. Oh my god. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.
Don't give us no copyright strikes, Jenny. Don't do it. Don't do it. Nick's a nice guy. No, don't give me no copyright strikes, Jenny, man. Trust me. Please don't.
Thank you, Jenny. Much appreciated. Let's do this.
Pull it up.
Yeah. You got it up? Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's there.
Cool.
It's there, sweetheart.
Cool. All right. Oh, that's better.
Yeah. They look like they've enhanced it a little bit as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So don't try and read the time or the date because you might feel a bit queasy. But other than that, you'll be all right. Please check out her channel as well, man. And I hope you do get your monetized straightened out. If you need any help, and I've said this to you before, just email me and we can chat and see what advice I can give you, if I can give you any. But other than that, just rock on, man. Rock on. Do what you're doing.
Yeah, just keep going. Don't stop.
See, I would have slammed in some music, some funky tunes. But that's me. I always throw in music. Is there some sound on there?
Yeah, I just muted it.
Oh, it's your fault.
Aha gidiyor. Tam yukarıda bak, görüyor musunuz? Beyaz bir ışık.
It's always Nick. Jose's always talking to Nick. Don't want to know me now.
Yanında.
I'm feeling left
the
out,
popular
man.
guy. Oh, don't get jealous. It's Jose, is it? It is
Benim
Jose.
yanımda.
There is a passage where the object changes shape. Whoa. Be on the lookout for that.
Oo, Salih görüyor musun? Bakayım. Oo, bak bu tam ne kadar beyaz ışık. Açtın mı? Evet.
Edge of a jam,
Baksana
Charlie.
Salih.
I was just about to get to that.
Bataryayı. Salih görüyor musun beyaz ışığı yukarıda? Işığı kıstım biraz. Ama duruyor değil mi orada? Orada ya, baksana. Hı hı. Önünde de bir şey var ya.
2 taneler mi?
He?
2 tane mi?
Yok, bir tane. Önünde bir şey var yani.
Hava gibi bu ya.
Ağır gidiyor ama farkında.
Thank you very much.
He?
Yavaş gidiyor.
Evet. Bayağı girdim zoom'a.
Gir ya, gir.
Yeminle girdim ama elim titriyor.
Öyle bir şey yok ya.
He?
Öyle bir şey yok ama ya.
Ağır gidiyor ama değil mi?
Çok yavaş gidiyor.
Denize
He wasn't joking. He was being serious.
Abi bak, geçen ay da çekti, farkında mısın? Şurada da bir şeysi var onun.
Oğlum uranyum mu geliyor burada? Ne yapıyor?
Bilmiyorum ama.
Enerji mi topluyor?
Dur ne oldu? Işık mı kısıldı? Biraz.
Geri
He? He?
kıstı ışığı.
Dur. Abi böyle bir şey var mı ya? Ya kaç 7000 fitte falan bu.
Aşağı yukarı.
Evet. Metaline baksana. Böyle sanki siyah bir şey var önünde.
Evet.
Aha gidiyor. Bulutlara mı gidiyor? Ha?
Don't tell me it was corridor crew. If you say you watched it on the corridor crew, then I'm gonna say, okay, yeah. Then it must be real if it was them. Good. I'm glad. It's supposed to be in the sky. But this is why they were the original debunk was it was a cruise liner, because they were saying that it wasn't actually in the sky, it was in the horizon.
Yeah, I was going to say, where is this camera pointed at? Is it at eye level? Was it in the sky? Oh, that's interesting. All right.
See, I don't look like no fish tank.
No, mate. It looks like one of those cones used to have a PE.
I don't see a jam jar lid. I would like to see that video.
Bir dakika.
Right. I'm gonna roll up a cigarette now.
Yukarıdaki beyaz ışığı görüyor musunuz?
Görüyorum abi.
Onu çekiyorum. O duran UFO şimdi şu anda.
Hi, Jan.
Abi şuradan şöyle
Welcome.
bir şey geçiyor gibi. Hafif
Evet.
yeşilimsi bir rengi var.
Bak o durdu şimdi onu çekiyorum ben.
Şurada değil mi?
Evet.
Bak
I
nasıl.
want to hear what the great Chris has to say. What do you?
Çekiyorum şu anda.
Peki net gözüküyor mu?
Süper.
I mean, I do have this video on my channel as well, obviously,
Çektiğimi göstereceğim.
but it's not as good as this.
Duruyor değil mi hala orada?
Aha, duruyor.
Ağır duruyor.
Hafif hafif ilerlemeye başladı sanki.
Evet. İlerliyor değil mi?
Aha, sanki biraz.
Evet. Ve koca bir ana gemiyi çekiyorum ben şimdi. Kayboldu.
Okay.
Do you mind if I skip forward here then?
Go right, because I think yeah, go right ahead, because I think most people are quite kind of familiar with it, with this
I just want to get to the alien. There you are.
Ne buldum ben? Ne buldum?
because they normally stop it and enhance that bit.
Lan nedir bu? Nedir?
But those, can you guys see those two things at 1612? The craft shapeshifts at 1612.
1612. Let's have a look. 1612.
Baba gidiyor ara ara. He? Nerede? Denize doğru gidiyor değil mi? Aha şekil değişti. Aa, şekil değişti Salih. Yok hiçbir şey yapmadı. Aa baba şekil değiştiriyor. Baba ışık gidiyor bir yana. Bak. Duruyor bu. Yemin duruyor. Baba ışık da öbür tarafa gidiyor. Ciddi söylüyorum ışık bir tarafa gidiyor.
Yeah, somebody saying hello to me. Take that, Jose.
Ya böyle bir şey yok Hakan.
Hello. Bean tin on the edge. Well, like they got under the table and like Put some bean juice on the corner so it looks like two aliens.
I see. That's very cool, man.
Çok enteresan.
Yeah, it's definitely compelling footage.
If it was a, did you, now, all honesty, did you see it shapeshift?
It doesn't look like it was reflected in the sun. Because the
But
thing
it
is,
could have
I
been the
don't know.
moon.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know where this object is. I never knew where the angle was. Was it eye level? Because you said it was the aircraft carrier. Oh, it's. I'm going to be stupid here and say something. Is that the one that's on sea? Like the big aircraft carrier? Is that the one, the big ships? Is that right?
Well, it's a cruise ship. I didn't hear them say aircraft carrier. I always heard them say it was a cruise ship.
Oh, the cruise ship. So I'm guessing that's at eye level then.
Well, for their, remember, just like how we put things into match what we want to believe, debunkers do the same. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it's just because it's the whole context of the background is so dark. I can't work out where is this object. I don't know, or it's hard to tell. It's fascinating nevertheless, but I'm not too sure about the. Do you want to see if there's like an enhanced photograph of that, of the close up of the aliens? Because it might just be like pareidolia.
I know there
you
is.
know what I mean?
I know there is. I've seen it. I know there is.
Turkey in 2009.
Cool. Before you do that, could you put it on to Chris? I'd be really interested. Watch the daytime part for several levels of the object. See, you'll fit in right here with us.
Yeah, definitely.
Your spelling is bad like ours. Do you have trouble saying words as well? Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute. There we go. Right. Okay. We need to skip forward. So I didn't realize it was in these sections. Right. Let's try that. Look at this.
Okay, I'm going to pull that down. See, it'd also be interesting to get a transcript of what they're saying.
Is the contrast changing because of the camera, or is it because of the reflection in the moon? Because you see, as he's going back, it's getting darker and darker.
If Jenny, if you ever join us, that's the name of the show.
The Cosmic Underjelly. Nice. It's got a ring to it. I like it.
Oh, sorry. I missed. Yeah, I got that one. Okay. Compare this video to another, the daytime capture over Kentucky. Do you know the name of this video? I'm trying to figure out how we would find it to compare it. Because if I put in daytime video over Kentucky, UFO, wrench me and I will share the link. Let me see if I can do it over here. Let's see. I can't do it here. I'm going to go into another window.
There was, the daytime Kentucky. I can see here. It looks like two rods, I believe. Who said that in chat?
Let me see. Wrench me. No funny business, though. Don't be timing out everybody and stuff like that. Let me see. There you go.
The Kentucky UFO sighting, 1978. There's a few of them here, actually.
All right, where are we at? Okay, I've got it.
You got it? Yeah, thank you, Jenny, for letting us play that video. Yeah, the Turkey UFO is extremely interesting. I've never had a full grasp of what it could actually be due to the black background, and there's barely any light on anything. The changing of the color, I'm not too sure if that's something to do with the camera, but it looks like something is definitely reflecting off it. But yeah, it's good stuff. Really good stuff. It's part of the UFO catalog of archive of unknown origins, I should say. Do you want to bring up Hidden? The Kentucky UFO? Yeah. Do you know how to do it?
Yes, I do. I sure do. I've become a master at this. Right.
All I can think about is suitcases. So thank you.
Right, here we go. Let's have a look at this. This don't look nothing like the Turkey one.
These images, snapped by Alan Epling, has the man stumped. And that's saying something coming from a long-time amateur astronomer.
I know a satellite when I see it. I track satellites with my ham radio and the telescope.
But this object is like nothing.
We were just sitting around talking, and she said there's a strange airplane in the sky.
So Epling went to take a closer look.
Like you had a giant mirror in the sky reflecting sunlight.
And he saw something very different.
And so I thought, well, there's a shiny helicopter or plane hovering up there. I'm going to look at it. I got my binoculars out, and when I looked through the binoculars, I was stunned. This was no helicopter, and this was no plane. And in fact, this is what I saw.
For 2.5 hours, he watched and photographed this object as it hung in the air until eventually it disappeared. And he wasn't alone. Police say they received numerous calls, and Epling found other observers online.
You're asking me if I think it's an earthly origin.
All that's left to ask, what is it?
I think it is.
By definition, it remains an unidentified flying object.
And it's still a UFO until it's identified.
That was interesting. I wouldn't compare it to the Turkish UFO. It's definitely interesting.
It kind of reminds me of rods. Could you remember rods?
I do.
Yeah, I've got a videotape on rods I need to digitalize, but it's kind of looks like that. Kind of. It's a very shiny object. But yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, really good stuff.
Right.
I've been advised to lock the doors by our community. Like, oh, thanks for that. I don't really need that now. I suppose better be safe than sorry.
Right. While I'm in here, there's a couple of more people. There you go. I was looking for a couple more. I'm just making some people mods. So if all of a sudden, I thought I made you a mod. Oh, I did. There you go. So all of a sudden, if you see the wrench on you, you become a moderator. So moderators, just basically, if we have a good time here. And sometimes maybe one person might have a joke that might not settle with other people, but as long as it's, don't get too power hungry, please. Just let everybody have a speech until they're being a turd. Oh, how you doing? I'm over on the other. Here's my sister. How you doing, man? How you doing? Much love, much love. Big up, mods. So,
have you made everyone a mod?
not everyone, not everyone. just the ones I know, and you know, that's it.
Sweet.
Welcome,
yeah,
Spanish.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for everyone being in chat. It's awesome how active the chat has been going. Appreciate every single one.
Thank you all the time. Thank you all the time.
Yeah.
You know, right back at you. I hope you've been doing good and not working too hard tomorrow. So know you work hard. And send KJ my love. He popped over on the last show to say hello. So, you know, tell KJ much love, much love. But yeah, I guess that's it. I haven't been doing much over on my channel, you know. So, but what I did want to suggest, and I don't know if you guys will be interested, is that there's a lot of how do we say? I post a lot of things on my other social medias. Yeah. And I know a few of you may not be on Twitter or on Facebook, where I post pictures of ghosts and some articles and stuff like that. So I was thinking, like, when we come towards the end of the show, does this sound pretty cool to you, Nick? Maybe we could have just a quick look over the past 2 weeks of what I've been posting to see what's been going on.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not going to implement it now because we're at the 2-hour mark. Yeah, I'm on X. All my links are down in the description box. You can find me. And so, Nick.
Yes, brother. Yes. Do you want to announce where you can find me and everything? So I strongly recommend for everyone in chat, whoever's listening to this now, find me at Investigate with Nick 89 on Rumble. You'll find daily content. I mostly deal with those trails in the sky. I do like these analysis because this year has been quite bad. People think there's a lot of weather manipulation, is why it's so cold, plants are not growing, and I talk about that pretty much on a daily basis, and I upload every single day. So, yep, find me on Rumble at Investigate with Nick 89, and you can also find me on YouTube at the Cosmic Twilight, where I upload stuff that normally gets channels banned. So yeah,
that's it.
So I'm still there. I'm still going, baby. Don't give up. I've got to keep going.
That's why we're gonna have to move the show. I'm not gonna say we're gonna move the show. Well, we're gonna do a show over on Rumble. Hope you guys can make it. But I am warning you now. It ain't for the faint of heart.
It's gonna be very, very touchy. I need to look into this, whether or not we can actually do it, because you have to show the photographs. This is the thing. You have to show the photographs.
You have to show the photographs to kind of get a good understanding of what's going on. Also, the comparisons with the animal mutilation. So you do have to. Yeah. So yeah, that should be a very interesting shows. But Hido will keep you all posted on that, and that will be on my Rumble channel, Investigate with Nick 89. Okay, so we'll keep you all updated, and we'll get back to you soon on that one. Okay, so I guess this is where we're going to call it. We're going to call it a night. I hope you enjoyed the Belgian Wave, and I hope it's something that you might want to more look into, because I agree with Nick. It's something that seems that no one. We always hear about the Phoenix Lights, Roswell, which is, I think, its 73-year anniversary just passed.
Yeah.
77. 77. Sorry, not 73. 77 anniversary of that. We talk about that. We even sometimes we talk about the Los Angeles one. So
which one's that? What, the
battle over Los Angeles?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's awesome. That's brilliant. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I've actually, somewhere along the lines, I've actually got the news. You know, when they reported it on the news, I've actually got that. So it's somewhere.
All right.
Hold on. I speak too soon.
do you know what? Have I heard rightly that the original footage isn't the real footage? There's actually no original negative. Apparently, I'm not too sure on that.
You're correct. It's a complicated story, but they whatever they done, I think they doctored the negative. He had the actual negative, and he was asked to send it off. And like all great photographers back in the days when you were working with film, he marked his film. He marked it with a little dot. When he sent it and it came back to him, this dot had gone. So it wasn't his negative that they sent back.
Oh, right. Okay. That's not the first time I've heard news organizations do that. So that's interesting.
Who do you think the news organizations kind of answer to? I mean, like
only a few people.
This is another subject about the. We were also going to talk about what was that person you wanted to talk about? Who was a conspiracist?
People in chat, do you know of a researcher called Rick Clay? Not really. A lot of people don't really know about him. He dealt with a lot with 2012 London Olympics, the Mayan calendar, consciousness, symbolisms like the 1111, and symbolisms behind like corporate logos and stuff like that. Yeah, his name's Rick Clay. If you go into my Cosmic Twilight YouTube channel, you will actually see the full interview with Rick Clay and amongst other stuff as well. But I would like to do an episode on him in regards of his research. Fortunately, it ends in a tragic end.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, no. But Rick Clay. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but we're planning to do an episode at some point. But there we go. Hopefully, at some point.
Okay, well, that's where we're gonna leave it, and unfortunately, I gotta say goodnight. And I'm not gonna. There's nothing to lead us out because I don't think y'all liked my lady that was playing the Addams Family tune. So, but we'll save that for Halloween. We're gonna have our crazy show this Halloween. I'm definitely gonna work on it, and we're gonna have a good show. So, guys, I'm just gonna say, I always end it by saying something. I'm gonna say what I always say: the change that we look for has to come from within us. Be the example that the world needs. And on that note, should I end it with my catchphrase? Until next time, stay blessed and keep safe. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.